Hello, hello. Welcome back to the D2D2 podcast. This is episode 3 coming at you. We've been trying to get out as many episodes as possible. I say we. I've been trying to get out as many episodes as possible. I'm trying to do 2 a week for you guys. We've already been getting a lot of support. I want to give a shout out to a couple people. My buddy Mark and Jamie at the Yo Yeah podcast, Dylan Rafferty. A couple of you guys, I've seen you all in the comment section, which I really appreciate. Definitely helps us get some traffic. So that's huge for YouTube. So hopefully you didn't just hear my dog scramble his way up the stairs in the background there. But yeah, anyways, so we got episode 3 coming at you. Unfortunately, again, this is going to be a heavy-hitting one. We got some serious subject matter to cover. So I don't know if you guys know Brendan Schaub, but he's from the Fighter and the Kid podcast. Huge inspiration for me. He's one of the guys that kind of got me not the idea, but gave me the confidence to decide to start a podcast. I see how many he's doing and obviously how hard he's working, and that kind of motivated me to say, hey, this is something I want to try doing. You just got to work at it like Schaub, you know? So, anyway, Schaub gets a lot of hate on the internet because, you know, he can be kind of goofy, and he's got the whole CTE thing as part of his brand as a former fighter. But, like I said, he gets a lot of crap, but this dude really, he proved to be a hero. So we're going to get into this, and I got my iPad here because I want to just go through all the facts right away. That way I make sure I get everything right as far as names and people involved. So this is kind of a tragic story that we're going to get into. Brendan Schaub, as many of you know, lives out in California, and on episode 720 of the Fighter and the Kid podcast, he told the story of something that just happened to him. He was out on a date with his wife, and they were driving back on one of the highways in California. I don't know which. I don't want to share which either way. Anyways, he sees a car wreck on the side of the road. There's an 18-wheeler and an SUV with the SUV's front end smashed to pieces. Pretty horrific scene, and no one had pulled over to stop. There was no emergency vehicles on the scene yet, so Schaub was the only person to stop. The reason he did so, he saw a teenage boy, well, young preteens to teenage boy, on the flipped over vehicle. So the vehicle was on its side, and the child was on the top of the vehicle, which would have been where the doors were, and he was waving for help. So Schaub, again, pulls over the car, gets out, runs right over, and in doing so, he notices that the 18-wheeler involved in the accident had its gas tank punctured, so there was just gas flowing everywhere openly on this open car wreck. So I mean, one spark and this place is lighting up like the 4th of July. And Schaub's running over there, not even thinking of himself, just knowing something's up and he needs to help because no one else is. So he gets over to the vehicle and he approaches the boy waving for help to find that there are still 2 more children trapped in the car. So Schaub, being the former UFC heavyweight that he is, he's a big guy, a monster. Thankfully, someone as strong as him was there. He has to smash through the windshield, or not the windshield, the window, I'm sorry. Smashes through the windshield and goes to pull the 2, what am I going to say? He goes to pull the 2 children out of the vehicle. Well, unfortunately, when Schaub breaks through the glass, he finds their mother's recently deceased corpse in the front seat. She had been fatally wounded by the car accident. Her name is Aimee Garcia. She was pronounced dead at the scene. So Schaub is trying to save these 2 children while also trying to keep them from seeing their dead mom in the front seat. And when you watch Schaub tell the story, he's clearly traumatized. He was fighting back tears the whole time. And very genuinely, like, there's a lot of people who cry for the camera's sake, and you could tell that wasn't what was going on. I genuinely felt horrible for the guy. Thank God he was there, but it's a lot to go through. I mean, imagine being the kids, you know. It's a lot to go through for anybody. So, Schaub pulls the 2 children from the car, gets them out, gets them to safety, and as he's doing so, he notices a gentleman running across the opposite side of the highway, and that gentleman gets smashed by a vehicle. I say gentleman, but we'll get to that. He gets hit by a vehicle coming the opposite direction. So Schaub thinks this guy's clearly dead now. He's like, what the hell is going on? Like, this is just an absolute madhouse scene. Like, no clue what's going on. Schaub has no idea who this guy is, if he's involved with the wreck that he's now helping out with. But anyways, the guy who got hit by the car pops up and just dips, runs into the woods. So Schaub really doesn't have time to think about that. He's like, I don't know, I got to get these kids out of here. So, like I said, gets the kids to safety, leaves the scene. Fortunately, he was found. Unfortunate for the circumstance. The man who ran away was identified as Caesar Iban Torre. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I don't really give a shit, to be honest with you. He's not really worth the time of day to care. So this guy Caesar, he had told those kids in the vehicle that today they were going to go visit heaven. And he had intentionally drove into oncoming traffic with the intent of committing suicide, murdering his wife, Aimee Garcia, and the 3 children that were on board in the vehicle. So, I mean, this guy, he's so incredibly lucky, because if Schaub had known what had happened, that is about the worst person that you could run into after doing something like that. Schaub is a gentle giant, but he will smash you. He would have killed that guy. So it's probably good for Schaub that he didn't know what would happen, because it just would have added to the scene and traumatized the kids even further. But genuinely, no matter how much you suffer in prison, Caesar Iban Torre, you should be thanking God that Brendan didn't get a hold of you. So, Torre was later brought up on charges of murder, and I'm sure many other things. I don't know how he was able to escape on foot after being in a fatal car accident and then also being hit again by another vehicle. I don't know. I don't know what was going on. I know he was abusive to the deceased Aimee Garcia. I can only assume he was also abusive to the children, if that's the type of person he is. I mean, if this is where you come, I don't care what you've gone through. I don't care what is going on in your life, how depressed you are. Kill yourself, dude. I shouldn't say that. I'm probably going to have to edit that out. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to edit that out. But basically, what I said that you guys won't see is there's no reason to involve the mother and the kids. Just do it to yourself, basically. It's disgusting. I hope they put him to death, this guy, Caesar Iban Torre. So, on a positive note, when Schaub told the story again on episode 720 of The Fighter and the Kid, if you want to go hear the story from the horse's mouth, they had set up a GoFundMe for the mother's funeral expenses with a goal of $30,000. Well, the TFAT-K Army got a hold of that, and they've now reached over $100,000 in donations. So, you guys are huge. Everyone that donated, everyone that saw that story. That's incredible. If you want, I'll find a link to the GoFundMe, and I'll put it in the description here. Yeah, the thing is now, too, these kids are orphans. I mean, I heard that they were going to be living with their grandmother, but the grandmother's already raising 2 or 3 kids from the family that aren't hers, that are just like either her grandkids or nieces and nephews. But you know, it's going to be tough. They're gonna have a hard life. I mean, it's a blessing that they're not going to be around that piece of shit of a father of theirs. You know, they got lucky in that sense, but they lost their mom. They're not. I don't know. These kids are in my thoughts. Thank God Brendan was there, and you know, I really I hope he gets a break from getting as much hate as he does for this, because you know, you can talk about someone's personality, you know, you don't like him and you don't like his sense of humor, but when push came to shove, Brendan stepped up. He's truly a hero. Like, how many people just keep going in traffic? You know, you see an accident and you're like, well, that sucks. Sorry for you, buddy, but, you know, I got a day to proceed with. And not Schaub. He saw someone in trouble and he did the right thing. So, thank you, Brendan Schaub, for being a hero. Again, I'm sorry that 2 episodes in a row now we've had kind of a downtrodden, depressing topic, but it is what it is. So yeah, like I said, if you want to see the full story, go to the Fighter and the Kid podcast on YouTube, episode 720, and just thank you, Brendan. Thank you.